Alright, we're back on our 1968 Roadrunner and it's really looking good. If you remember right, we got all of the front end painted. That's a single stage paint, looks beautiful. Yes, we did get a few runs in it, but who gives a really rat fuck, because once you get the motor in it, once you get everything bolted to the firewall, you will never see it. The main thing that you want to pay attention to is your fender wells. You want those to look really, really nice. If you get any type of runs or imperfections in that, you're going to want to repaint them. So everything's looking good and it looks awesome. And then at the same time, we went ahead and painted the trunk, so the trunk came out great. Once again, this is a rust-free, pretty much mint condition, very, very minimal bodywork. I talked to the previous owner of the car, and he said there is bodywork in this quarter panel right here. This has bodywork in it. This side over here has a few little minor dents that he had to fix on it, but that was it. The doors are really clean, the deck lid's clean, and of course it's got a brand new hood, and the fenders, he said, were spotless, didn't have no damage at all. So this is really going to turn out to be a very, very nice car. I want to go over something with everybody over here. This is a post car. That means that there's a post in between the window opening right here, and this actually has the pop-out window on it. Now, what made these cars popular, the post car itself, we're talking about the 68 Roadrunner, is that this was made out to be a muscle car hot rod. Most people that bought these, it had the big block engine in it, had the 4-speed transmission. They wanted that post for support so the bodies wouldn't twist. That was just another added addition. If you want to purchase one of these cars that has a post in it, it's very, very easy and simplified to remove the post right out of the car. You can see there's a tab right there, and then there's a couple of spot welds on the back. And then as we come down, same situation, it's brazed in right here, and you just take that post out, and then right there you can go ahead and add the window cranks and the roll-up windows into the car. So that's another example of what made the Roadrunner so popular. It doesn't matter if it's a post or a non-post. I would rather actually have the post car with the pop-out windows. That would actually give you less of a situation of something going bad on the car. I think it's going to be an awesome car when it's done, and what we're doing right now is we are actually coating the floor. Remember, this floor was sandblasted. It was sandblasted down to bare metal. You can see that there was no rust in it. The only thing that's on here is a very, very minor surface rust that I actually cleaned off with vinegar water. You can see where the water was sitting right there. These are the original floors. They've never been rotted through or replaced. So this is making this car really fucking a nice vehicle. And what I'm doing is I'm actually painting everything with POR15. Now what POR15 is, it's a rust converter. Once you paint it onto the vehicle, it converts the rust into a rock hard primer. It's very, very hard to get rust underneath POR15, and once you POR15 something, it's almost impossible to sandblast it. That means even sandblasting will not remove it. So that's how strong and durable it is. And what I'm doing is I'm doing the whole floor inside the car, and I believe the underneath is going to be undercoated just like the factory, like Mopar Norm was talking about. If you look right here, you can see here's the factory undercoating, and he's going to redo all that anyway. So this car will be protected for many, many years from putting the POR15 on.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
ways that you can apply POR15. Actually, there's only two ways that I can even think of. One of them is to spray it on with a spray gun, and the other way is to apply it using a throwaway brush. The way that I like to do it, I like to use a throwaway brush, because when you use the throwaway brush, it goes a lot farther as far as square footage. You can cover a lot more area using your POR15 than you can when you spray it on. Spraying it on puts it on way too thick, and you really don't need that much to make the effectiveness of what POR15 actually does. So what I do is I go ahead and take these rubber gloves. You always want to wear rubber gloves because POR15, once it dries on your skin, it takes weeks to get it off. You can't even really pick it off. You'll end up cutting yourself and gouging your skin to get it off. It's very, very strong and durable. And then if you're working on an enclosed area, the next thing you're going to want to do, you want to use your spray mask. And the spray mask is going to do, these fumes are toxic, and you are breathing those fumes in. And if you don't wear a mask, what you're going to notice is that your nose is going to start running, and you're going to start getting a burning sensation in your nose. So it's very important to wear a mask when you're doing this, whether you're spraying it or putting it on with a brush. Another advantage of putting it on with a brush is it does take a little longer, but the real deal is you don't have to wear protective clothing to cover yourself, because when you spray it on, of course, you're going to get overspray in the air, and then it's going to get all over your body. And once again, if you get this POR15 on your skin or your hair or anywhere else, it's very hard to get off. So before I put my mask on, I'm going to show you how I apply it. And what I do is I take my throwaway brush, just like you see right here, and then I put my POR15 into a cup, because if you don't use it all, when you put the lid back on the can, if there's any glue, any POR15 left around the edges of the can, any residue, it will glue the cap back onto the can. So it's important to make sure that you pour your POR15 into a throwaway container as well. And all I do basically is I just take my POR15, and I want to show you how far this goes. You can see that by using a throwaway brush, it goes on very, very thick, and it goes a long ways. You want to keep brushing it on until you can't get no more paint out of your brush. You don't have to worry about being neat about it, but you do have to worry about slopping it on there and wasting it. Once again, all it takes is a nice, good, thick coat, and make sure that you get everywhere to apply the POR15, and make sure that it seals everything up tightly. And I'm not wearing my spray mask right now because I'm actually talking and teaching, but if you weren't here on camera, I would definitely be wearing my spray mask, and I'm going to put it on once I get done teaching you how it's done. You just want to dab it in there lightly, and you want to start putting it on. Don't worry about ruining the brush. That's why you're using a throwaway brush, because when you use your throwaway brush, you're going to throw it away. All right, we've applied all of our POR15. It's approximately 2 weeks later. The POR15 is dry. Everything looks beautiful. Let's go check the car out, and we're going to see exactly what POR15 can do for you. Now, before we look at the floor, I just want to let everybody know I don't advertise, okay? But the product that I'm advertising for you, the viewer, to know what we're using here, I basically got to tell you the name. There is other products out there that are similar to POR15, but I've never really found anything that can actually do the job like the POR15, so that's all I can say. Now, one more thing I'd like to say is the POR15 comes in two versions. It comes in high gloss, semi-gloss, and flat. I like to use the semi-gloss because I just like to be in the middle fucking guy, and that's what I like to do. So let's look at the floor. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and we're going to check it out. Now, we have completely painted this car. I'm not going to show you that because we got many videos to show you on that. But the car has been filled with water as we were washing it. So what you're going to see in there is working on the car and the white spots that you see is where water has gotten in the car and saturated it. So let's take a look at it. This is your POR15. Very good product to use. Apply it with a brush and just take your time. One full wet coat is all you need. And if we look right there, you can see there is the POR15 applied to the floor. Complete floor, I might say, goes all the way back. I went ahead and applied it as far as possible. I told the owner if he wanted to apply POR15 on the rest of it, that's up to him. But that has the factory primer on it, and I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it'll ever rust out up that high. But the floor is done. You can see how nice it is. You can see the finish that we're getting out of this and the quality of what it would take to actually have a job done like this. Very simple, very easy job. One quart costs approximately 45 bucks. You can do this whole fucking floor right here that you're looking at. The whole fucking deal can be done in less than a quart if you use a brush. I recommend using a brush over a spray can because when you use the spray gun and you spray it in there, you're going to use twice as much material to do the job that you can do by brushing it on. So that's just one more lesson to learn of restoring your car and actually getting rid of that rust that everybody hates so much. Rust can be a nightmare. Rust can be mind-boggling. But you know what? It's a situation that says, you know, we always have solutions. It doesn't matter what you do in life or what kind of hills you might have to climb, what kind of tortures you might go through. Believe me, in the end, the solutions will always be there because there's a solution for every situation. This just happens to be the solution for this situation. This is Pete, my friend Pete, your friend Pete, hoping that all your projects that you're doing, whether it's restoring a car or washing the dishes, comes out the way that you want them to be. We'll see you later. Take it easy. And thanks for visiting DIY Auto School, the #1 online source for all the shit that you need to fucking know.
For watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.
So we'll be back. This is Pete, Southwest Rod and Custom. That's Bruno, and we're always here, right? So take it easy, have fun, and enjoy what you're doing. See you later.